साहब अब बिल्ली को इंजेक्शन लगा दो।
तो उसे बेड पर लेकर आओ।
चल बिल्ली अब भागना मत, सुई लगवा लेना। डॉक्टर साहब थोड़ा धीरे से लगाना सुई।
ठीक है धीरे से ही इंजेक्शन लगाऊंगा, तुम्हें दर्द नहीं होगा।
माई बहुत मोटा सुई है, इससे तो बहुत दर्द होगा। नहीं मैं कभी इंजेक्शन नहीं लगवाऊंगा।
तुझे तो इंजेक्शन लगवाना ही पड़ेगा। ये ले, सुई घोंप दिया।
अरे बाप रे, बिल्ली ने तो पूरा ही इंजेक्शन घुसा दिया।
मैं इस बिल्ली को छोड़ूंगा नहीं। अब मैं इस इंजेक्शन को बिल्ली को लगा के ही मारूंगा। रुक कमीनी बिल्ली, मैं तुझे छोड़ूंगा नहीं।
जल्दी आओ मम्मी, ये बिल्ली मुझे काटने के लिए अलमारी पर भी चढ़ने की कोशिश कर रही है। अबे बिल्ली छोड़ दे मेरे बाबू को, नहीं तो मैं तुझे डंडे से मार दूंगी। मैं तुम्हारे बाबू को नहीं छोड़ूंगी, मैं इसे मार दूंगी। लेकिन तुम मेरे बाबू को मारना क्यों चाहती हो? क्योंकि इसने मेरे बाबू को साइकिल से कुचलकर मार दिया। क्या बाबू, क्या ये बिल्ली सही कह रही है? हाँ ये बिल्ली सही कह रही है मम्मी, लेकिन गलती मेरी नहीं थी। वो बिल्ली ही मेरे साइकिल के सामने आ गई थी। अब मैं भी तुम्हें काट काट के मारूंगी। मम्मी बचा लो मुझे, तुम इसे बचाने मत आना, नहीं तो मैं तुम्हें भी काट लूंगी। क्या? मेरे पास मत आना डॉक्टर, नहीं तो मैं तुम्हें इस बंदूक से गोली मार दूंगा।
तुझे कैसे पता कि ये बंदूक है?
ऐसे ही एक बंदूक से मैंने एक बिलोटे को मारा था।
नहीं बंदूक मत चलाना, नहीं तो मैं टैब बोल जाऊंगा।
अरे चिंटू, उस बिल्ली ने तो बंदूक को डॉक्टर के ऊपर तान दिया। डरो मत, वो एक बिल्ली है, उसे बंदूक चलाना नहीं आता होगा। जल्दी इंजेक्शन को फेंक दे डॉक्टर, नहीं तो ठोक दूंगा यहीं पे तुझे।
नहीं ये इंजेक्शन नहीं फेंकूंगा, तुम्हें तो इसे लगा के ही मारूंगा।
तो फिर ये ले।
अरे बाप रे, मार दिया।
अरे चिंटू, बिल्ली ने तो बंदूक चला दिया डॉक्टर के ऊपर। भाग डॉक्टर,
बाप रे, बच गया, गोली मुझे नहीं लगी। देख अब बंदूक मत चलाना तू, समझा? रे सब ये गुंडी बिल्ली है।
चिंटू, रुक जा डॉक्टर का बच्चा, मैं तुझे छोड़ूंगा नहीं। तू मुझे इंजेक्शन लगाने वाला था।
कूदते हुए भागो चिंटू और चिंकी, नहीं तो गोली लग जाएगी।
चिंटू, ये बिल्ली बंदूक कैसे चला रही है? चुपचाप कूदते हुए भागती रहो, नहीं तो गोली लग जाएगी। मम्मी, मारो ना डंडे से इस बिल्ली को, नहीं तो अब ये मुझे काट लेगी। रुको, मारती हूँ बिल्ली को। तूने मुझे मारा, अब तुझे भी काटूंगी। चल भाग बाबू, अब तुम दोनों को खूब काटूंगी। अब हम कहाँ जाएंगे मम्मी, जिससे बिल्ली हमें न काट सके? चलो बाथरूम में चलकर जल्दी से दरवाजा बंद कर देते हैं। हाँ जल्दी चलो, दरवाजा बंद करो मम्मी। अब हम कब तक इस बाथरूम में बंद रहेंगे मम्मी, जब तक वो बिल्ली भाग नहीं जाती यहाँ से। अरे कहाँ चले गए वो तीनों? यहाँ पर कहीं नहीं दिख रहे हैं। डॉक्टरवा, कहाँ जाके छुप गया डॉक्टर का बच्चा? निकल बाहर, मैं तुझे गोली मार दूंगा। सुना डॉक्टर, वो बिल्ली तुम्हें चिल्ला चिल्ला कर बुला रही है। वो बहुत गुस्से में है, वो जरूर तुम्हें गोली मार देगी।
चुप कर, डरा मत मुझे। ये सब तुम दोनों के ही वजह से हुआ है।
हमने क्या किया?
तुम दोनों ने ही तो उस बिल्ली को मेरे पास लेकर आए थे।
हम तो बस उसका इलाज करवाने के लिए लाए थे, वो गाड़ी से कुचल गई थी रोड पर।
अब से मैं बिल्लियों का इलाज कभी नहीं करूँगा।
अब कहाँ बच के जाएगा तू डॉक्टरवा?
Dignity, even when everything else was taken. She remembered a summer afternoon long ago, dragging her own small, battered suitcase behind her, the one she had carried when leaving her father's house after that terrible argument. She had walked alone then, too, feeling small but unbroken. That suitcase had been her armor. This one, somehow, she knew, was her challenge. From the corner of her eye, she noticed him again. The stranger who had appeared beyond the barriers. He didn't move closer. He didn't speak. Just watched, quietly, deliberately, like he had all the time in the world. His eyes held something she couldn't name. Judgment, perhaps, or recognition, but they didn't waver. She wondered if he knew what had been taken from her, knew what she had lost, knew what she was willing to risk to get it back. The crowd began to thin as a train prepared to depart. She could feel the weight of a decision pressing down, the seconds stretching long and slow. Should she follow the suitcase? Should she leave it behind? A small, ironic smile tugged at her lips, because somehow she felt that the choice wouldn't be hers entirely. Her hand hovered over the strap of her bag, unsure. The stranger's gaze caught hers for a heartbeat. Then he tilted his head slightly, a gesture half invitation, half warning. She froze, and the train's whistle pierced the station. Time stilled. The suitcase waited, and so did he. The first drops of rain began to streak the glass ceiling of the station, thin fingers of gray that blurred the sunlit tiles. She pulled her jacket tighter, but the chill wasn't just from the weather. It was the weight of everything she had left behind. Her eyes returned to the stranger. He stood beneath the archway, hands shoved into the pockets of his worn coat. The leather of his shoes was scuffed, the soles fraying, like he had walked long roads that left stories etched into every crease. For a moment, she noticed a corner of a photograph peeking from his wallet as he adjusted it in his pocket. A small girl, smiling at a camera, sunlight caught in her hair, too small to be his daughter, yet somehow intimate, like a memory he carried close. She felt an unexpected pang, a mirror reflected in his quiet presence. The struggle he bore, the weight he carried, it was hers too, in a different language. Loneliness, loss, the gnawing need to reclaim what had been stolen, they were the same. She realized, with a flicker of fear and recognition, that he might understand her in a way no one else could. Thunder rolled faintly above, low and insistent. The rain was heavier now, rattling the station's glass, echoing through the empty corridors that flanked the platforms. Her hands tightened around the strap of her bag. She wanted to leave, to step back into her controlled, measured life, to forget this strange, dangerous magnet drawing her forward. But every instinct, every memory of what had been taken, pushed her closer. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered to no one, or maybe to him. Her voice was almost drowned by the patter of rain. He didn't answer. He just tilted his head slightly, watching her, as if he understood the conversation without words. And in that silence, a question formed, stubborn and sharp. Was this fate, or something more deliberate? Manipulation, perhaps, or the unspoken bond of shared battles? She glanced at the suitcase again, the red scarf now soaked in the reflections of passing lights, and her chest ached. It wasn't just an object anymore. It was a signal, a tether to what she had lost, and maybe to what she was about to risk. The stranger shifted, and she noticed the photo disappear into his pocket, hidden but remembered. His shadow fell across the wet tiles, long and uncertain, a presence she couldn't ignore. She wanted to step away. She should step away. But something in him, the quiet, the weight of unspoken history, held her in place, trembling yet unwilling to move. The rain grew heavier, the thunder closer, and neither of them spoke, though the air between them vibrated with unsaid promises, dangers, and the hint of inevitable collision. The world moved around them, but here, in the rain-soaked station, everything else ceased. And she did not leave. She turned toward the exit, letting the rain soak through the folds of her coat, each step heavier than the last. The crowd parted and closed around her like tides, their faces curious, impatient, judgmental. A woman brushed past, her gaze sharp and assessing, as if she could see the weight of every choice pressing on the girl's shoulders. She paused at the threshold, wanting to disappear into the anonymity outside, to leave the station and all its ghosts behind. But something made her stop, a subtle shift in the air, a presence she couldn't ignore. He was there, standing slightly apart from the others, the stranger's eyes fixed on her like a tether she couldn't cut. In his hands, he held a small, cracked leather suitcase. The red scarf peeked from the corner, wet and vivid against the dull leather. Some people carry more than just bags. They carry silence. And some carry everything that was ever taken from them. Her knees weakened, and she had to clutch the strap of her bag just to stay upright. She wanted to run, to scream, to vanish into the city. Instead, she walked slowly toward him, feeling every heartbeat like a drum, every breath a defiance. He made no move to hand it to her. He simply watched, his expression unreadable, as if weighing the cost of this small act against a lifetime of shadows. The suitcase wasn't just an object anymore. It was a bridge, a warning, a challenge. The murmurs of the other passengers were faint but real. A man with a newspaper glanced sideways, eyebrow raised.